Hello and welcome to a Path of Exile video. This is a Reave Slayer. This is what I will be league starting. There is a lot of gear not on, so the life pool will definitely go up. The res aren't calculated, anything else like that. I basically yoinked like a very early on in Trade League setup for Frostblades and converted it to a Reave. The claw is nothing special. It's like T5 flat cold with like T4, T3, or whatever other mods. Very doable. It doesn't even have like elemental pen crafted from veiled modifier, anything else crazy like that. It does not have it. This is just bog standard claw for a build like this. Shield not on, helmet not on. You can use a heat shiver if you would like, but you're not really going to be doing like Trinity Reave with a build like this. It also doesn't have boots. Boots, the more popular option is Relicash and everything else, but you do have Blood Dance. So this gives you... Wait, is Blood Dance the one with +1? No, it's Dark Ray. Dark Ray Vectors. You get +1 maximum frenzy charge on your boots here. Also gives you increased evasion rating per frenzy charge, so it can bump up your evasion rating ever so slightly. Obviously, your enemy miss chance is still really not that great. You're going to be around like 30 to 35%, depending on how much gear you've got on, probably. And then for the passive tree, once you get melee fortify on your body armor as an eater implicit, and once you get enough to anoint Veteran's Wrath on an amulet of your choosing, Pandemonious is a great option for a build like this. You can just basically whack all of this off, and that'll save you a lot of points on the passive tree. And you can start investing into cluster jewels or picking up more life, picking up like intuition, one with nature, quick step, any of that kind of stuff that interests you. The elemental mastery is nerfed, so that's why I bring up Pandemonious. Another thing is mercenaries. Mercenaries, you are going to have access to mercenaries where they may have skills like elemental weakness or other things like that. Additionally, you can give them gloves with a curse on hit, corrupted implicit. And with June, I expect getting like corrupted implicit for like southbounds to be very common. And then you can give them like a Dodre damning, the mercenary that is a Dodre damning plus a curse on hit glove of your choosing, and now you get another curse into your build. I definitely think that is going to be like a very common meta thing to do this league. So I expect the invert nerf to not really impact a build like this. And if you can make it so that you can reduce enemies' resistances with like a frost bomb in your setups or anything else like that, in addition to having like the elemental weakness and frostbite curses, then you can basically drop all of this, and then you can pick up like the Cyrus Jewel, and there's other stuff like weapon artistry is in radius, winter spirit is in radius. So if you get like a big fizz cold claw, you can do winter spirit. The cold mastery isn't out yet. Like they have it in the patch notes. They're still working on it. So you can take the convert. I expect convert to stay, but I expect most other things to get changed around. The cold res is probably gonna also stay, but yeah. All options that you can follow up on. Invert is really good early. Additionally, for pathing, you can come out this way. It's about the same amount of points. It's just a lot less strength. And you can like do like burning brutality, other stuff while leveling, graceful assault. You can get precise technique like really, really quickly. So all sorts of other stuff that you can do for leveling as an attack build, or like using Sunder or whatever, explosive concoction if that's your uh, new favorite thing to level with these days. So yeah, I have tons and tons and tons of options going over the skill links that I have currently: Steel Skin, Automation, Life Tap, Enduring Cry, Assassin Mark, Mark on Hit, Life Tap, Flame Dash, Precision, Blood and Sand, Herald of Ice, Rolling Blades, Life Tap, Faster Attack, Blood Rage. This is the Reave setup, and this is Summon Skitterbots. So for this build, if you want to get a Frost Bomb in, you're probably going to need an onset ring, or you're going to need like exposure inflicted with the I want to say it's Eater implicits on gloves, but you can get exposure that way as well, and that can resolve your cold exposure. You can also run things like Pandemonious, stuff like that, to really go into like the full penetration. The reason why I have Blade Flurry here is that currently, with Multi-Strike not being supported with Blade Flurry basically does the same amount of damage that the Reave is doing. But if you get white sockets, you can swap out Multi-Strike for something like Inspiration or Infused Channeling. Both of those are pretty good. And that can be your 6-link setup for a Blade Flurry. And with Blade Flurry getting more damage buff as well as a bug fix associated with its attack speed, I have tried to use Blade Flurry in the past in 325 with Reave, and every single time I used it, it literally felt like I was doing a third of the DPS. And it did not feel that way previous leagues before 325. So I think the 325, it either showed that Blade Flurry had the bug, or it was just Ancestral Protector carrying the skill, essentially, because everybody would use Ancestral Protector on a Blade Flurry to, obviously, because it just gives you more attack speed. So I'm interested in knowing the history on that bug, but it's supposed to have like a ludicrous amount of attack speed built in. It does 160% of base. So the better weapon you get, the better your damage is going to be as a whole. Like this cold damage mod, go all the way up. You can get like increase elemental damage with attacks, and you can add the benchcraft for elemental pen. Like this is what a perfect claw would look like, and it's a 72% increase in damage in comparison to what I had before. So you can definitely get a lot better of a weapon, but yeah, I mean, you also have access to another prefix, so you can do like just fizz damage, I guess, even higher, or like flat fire or flat lightning, whatever. So you have a lot of options for a claw. Recombinator went core, so you can still do recom. Lethal Pride, if you are pathing on this side, is a mandatory thing. The Lethal Pride that I have currently gives a pretty noteworthy chunk of damage. But yeah, I definitely think that this is going to be a viable build in 326. Also, there's no tincture, so really, I think that this build, it'll probably comfortably reach like 20 million Shaper DPS, but anything past that, and you are looking into a lot of investment into your build and your character, like Woke Gems, the Rage Gloves, like good cluster jewel setup, that type of stuff, and like OP Annoyance, really good amulets, rings, taming potentially, maybe swapping to Reave of Refraction to use with taming, so that you can occasionally ignite the enemy, And then like for the helmet, I wouldn't use Heat Shiver to get Ignite. I would just use the all quality Transfigure gem. So there's tons and tons and tons of options, tons of stuff that you can do with the character. I genuinely think that if you're like a fan of like a Slayer melee build, that this is something worth considering. I'll leave a link to this POB. You can also like yoink POBs from PoE Ninja, and you can kind of just like swap it up to be similar like reservations. A lot of them they take Tribal Fury, so you basically just drop that. You pick up this mana mastery, and that allows you to have all the links without needing like an enlighten on your summon skitterbots, because I do see that as a common thing. I don't think any of these matter for, yeah, none of those matter for quality on the supports. You can also get like Awaken Unbound, gives you a little bit more damage. There's a lot of like min-maxy stuff in that regard. Anyways, that's it for this video. See ya. Peace.